Good Friday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. And, you kind of have a feel for the weather the next several days. Not much going on as far as storminess, really nothing. Near record highs, I've seen a lot of records around the 86, 87, 88 degree mark. And that's going to be about where we top out in many places. So my job really is to show you the subtle changes coming up over the next couple weeks. And there are some, and I think it says that we get maybe a little more into rainfall. I'll show you why. And we do get cooler. Now, here's the thing. Going from 87 to 67 is going to feel like, what happened? Did winter start? But remember, our average high temperature right now today in southern Michigan is about 64, I think, and it's going down a degree every couple of days. So let's get on into it and show you what's going on here. We'll start with the radar, just a few showers across the UP, and that is it at the moment. Satellite imagery shows you that we have lots of sunshine on the way. So we'll start with just our day-to-day precipitation. And here we go. Here's tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon. Dry. Sorry, you might hear the well pump kicking off. Why? Because I am watering my arborvitaes and Vanderwolf pines and a couple of other things that I've just planted in the last year or so. So here's Monday, maybe some showers, a couple of hours in Traverse City, and by Monday night shifting into southern Michigan. This is Tuesday morning. This is the cold front, which is expected to barrel through and, like I said, drop our temperatures to slightly above normal, but it will feel like a shock. So this is Wednesday of next week and Thursday. Then you're going to start to see an occasional patch of showers and even thunderstorms roll through the area. This is October 13th. Not a ton, but the upper air pattern is starting to show some hope. Here is October 15th, and we go on. So it's not like it's going to turn to an extremely wet pattern, but look at this same model. And this is what it does on Monday into Tuesday for the cold front. Now remember, yesterday it was heavier. This looks more realistic. Typically a cold front is 2/10 to maybe a ½ inch of rain, maybe a very isolated 1 inch if there's a thunderstorm. And then if we run this out 16 days, this model does have some patches of heavier rain. Don't look at that spot near Muskegon and say, oh, wow, we're going to get a ton of rain. Drought is over. It just says that there are disturbances that will bring showers and thunderstorms through. Now, look at these temperatures. And I told you last year, I wrote some sort of headline like, the weather doesn't feel bizarre now, but it will in a week or so. Now does it feel bizarre? October 3rd, 87? October 3rd. Even I've lost touch with reality because it feels normal. If you want to hang on to summer and winter is coming, it feels normal. But it's not. So then this is Saturday to the 80s. This is Sunday. Even Traverse City still 80. Eastern part of the state, 85. This is Monday. The cold front speeding up a little bit. Still hot for this time of the year. Ann Arbor, Detroit, Lansing, Saginaw, Bay City, the Thumb. Starting to cool off as you go toward Cadillac, and then cooler is toward Traverse City, cooler across the UP. Here's Tuesday, temperatures highs of 70 as the cold front moves through, but 60 in Traverse City and 50s in the UP. Here is Wednesday. So Wednesday, places like the Thumb are going to go from the 80s on Monday to the 50s on Wednesday, you'll feel like, wow, it turned into winter fast. But remember, that's still warmer than normal. Then by Friday, we're back to the 70s and 80s. And in general, we're out October 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. We don't see anything that is frosty or really cold. Okay, so now here's that upper air pattern. And what I'm seeing is that tropical moisture and tropical systems in the Pacific, off the coast of California and Mexico, a couple of those are going to get pulled up into the flow and head our way over the next couple of weeks. And that's when you can take somewhat of a bite in drought, is if you can get a tropical system latching on to a non-tropical storm system. So here's the upper air. There's your ridge. Now you know what it looks like in the air aloft. If we're extremely warm, there's that big ridge. And then what does a cold front look like? There it is. See that bend in the jet stream? That's the cold front on Tuesday. Big cool down behind it? No, it just moves off and the ridge comes right back. Now, notice just that very subtle little kink in the upper airflow in Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri. That is a system that came out of the southwest. So that could be a late week rain next week. And then you'll notice there's a remnant system into Mexico, and that one will actually come toward us maybe in about the middle of October. The hot dome is still there though. Look at that. We're slightly cooler, but the hot dome is still there with cold fronts coming through every 3 or 4 days to knock it down some. So we're going to continue really with warmer than normal conditions. And one last thing for you, I like to look at the operational mode of the European, but also this average of 50 tweaks. And of course, the weekend is going to be right on with the big ridge. And then, of course, there is your cold front coming through. And then we go right back to warmer than normal temperatures by the time we get to late next week. So there you have it. Just plan on summer, going to a few fallish days, back to a modified summer pattern. Enjoy it. Have yourselves a great weekend. I'm going to be off for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm taking my mom to see her sister, my aunt, in central Missouri. Hermitage, Missouri. So here we go on the road trip with Mom. Take care. We'll see you on Thursday, most likely. Take care.